Welcome on in, as this week we're going to have a hard-hitting show. Supreme Hits Boxing is stopping by. We're also talking basketball with former Badger Roy Boone, and you're going to find out all about beer nuts, whether you like it or not. All that and more as the headlines brought to us by the Red Zone on Regent Street. That's all next here in the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports. Hello and welcome to the Sports News, your 30-minute look into the tackles, hits, checks, and dunk that make up the local sports scene. I'm your host, Rich Reynolds. Let's hit the ground running. With the weather starting to warm, it means the end of winter and the end of the hockey season as well. For the Madison Capitals, they kept their second season in style with a 2-1 overtime win over Bloomington in front of a raucous Coliseum crowd on Friday night. Sasha Payusov netted the OT winner as the Caps finished with a winning record at home, but unfortunately out of the USHL playoffs for the second straight year. Well, the weather might have been cold Saturday night at Breese Stevens Field, 34 degrees at game time, but the Madison Radicals stayed hot as they won their 2016 season opener in style, 25-11 over the Minnesota Wind Chill. Andrew Meshnick set a franchise record in the process, scoring 10 goals. The Radicals are expected to be a dominant team again this year after losing to San Jose in the championship game last season. The win on Saturday marks 24 straight home wins for the Rads. An opportunistic Kyle Busch sped away from the rest of the field after a restart with 33 laps left in Saturday night's Duck Commander 500, that at the Texas Motor Speedway, and collected his second straight NASCAR Sprint Cup Series victory. Even more impressive, Busch won his fourth straight NASCAR National Series race, having swept last week's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series and NASCAR Sprint Cup events at Martinsville Speedway, and having won Friday night's NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Texas. Local boy Matt Kenseth finished 11th and is currently running 12th overall on the young season. If it really is the end, what a way to go out, as Manny Pacquiao whipped Timothy Bradley at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas Saturday night. Pac-Man scored a unanimous decision, 116-110 on all three judges' cards to win the WBO welterweight title. Immediately after the fight, the 37-year-old Filipino fighter announced his retirement from the sport. Pacquiao finishes his career at 58-6-2 with 38 knockouts. And the Madison Mallards are having their opening pitch event Saturday at 3 at the Warner Park Community Center, hosted by yours truly. Everyone's invited to attend. It's free to the public, and there will be free stadium food as well, including the debut of beer nuts. Now, what are beer nuts, you ask? Well, they're bull testicles, brined in beer, slightly smoked, chopped, beer battered, and deep fried. Yep, you heard that right. You can rewind on your DVR if you don't believe me. By the way, I hope to see you there on Saturday. For more information and all the 411 on our headlines, check out these fine websites. Stick around, we have a jam-packed show as we'll talk football, boxing, softball, basketball as former Badger Roy Boone will be joining us, and more next on the Sports News here on Channel 57 Sports. Well, it's April, and you would think that means it's the off-season for football. Well, not so fast, my friend, as we have the Jefferson County Chargers to tell us all about their upcoming inaugural season. And we start with Coach Steve. And Coach, tell us a little bit about the team if you could, and some of your history as a coach.
The Jefferson County Chargers started practicing this past February to get ready for our upcoming season. With us, we have about 40 players on our roster currently, and growing all the time with about 6 to 7 coaches. My coaching history is I actually started my career backwards. I started at the varsity level of high school, moved down to youth football, and then about 10 years ago I got approached by a former NFL player to head up the Summit Stampeders, and ultimately led me to the Chargers.
Very cool. So you kind of come full circle then. So if someone wants to catch a Charger game and see you in action, how do you do that?
You would go to Johnson Creek High School, where we will have our games this season. Our first game, home game, is May 14th at 6 p.m. at Johnson Creek High School.
Very cool. Now, who are some of the teams that you face on the road?
Some of the teams will be the returning champs, the Madison Mad Dogs. That will be at Warner Park. Our furthest game will be in Michigan against Arctic Blast.
Now we turn attention to Tammy here a little bit. Now, Tammy, what kind of impact do you expect this organization to have on the community?
Well, for example, our youth football program, I'm involved with that, and then also with the Chargers. We're going to kind of tie it in through the whole county and host like mini camps, and the players are going to be reaching out into the community, helping out at events through the community, and just really being role models for our youth football. So pretty excited.
Yeah, nice to see that the football and the community intertwined like that. Now, to Paula, tell us a little bit about the new school and what your campaign is focused on doing.
Sure. In April of 2014, the Johnson Creek School District passed a referendum to build a new middle school high school. And to reduce the cost to taxpayers, the district decided to take the athletic fields off. And so, in turn, we're now working on raising that nearly $2 million to build the track, the football stadium, and softball and baseball fields. And so we're doing that through a variety of ways, naming sponsorships, straight donations, and community events.
$2 million seems like a lot of money. How is that money going to help the school?
Well, the athletics fields are just one component of education, and rounding off the new campus with the athletic fields just completes the package. It's all about building confidence on and off the field, teamwork, and leadership.
Excellent. Steve, Tammy, Paula, thank you so much for being here. We're going to keep an eye on the Chargers all season long. Good luck to you this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, a familiar face here on Channel 57 as we welcome back our very own Roy Boone, who of course is a former Madison East Pearl Golder and Wisconsin Badger basketball player, besides being our analyst on big-time basketball. And Roy, welcome in. Tell us what you got going on with Northeast Side Youth Basketball and what your goals are for this 5th grade team.
Rich, like you said, we got a lot of things, good things going on with NASB Youth Basketball. Let me introduce my crew that I got behind me. To my right, I got Jaden, Mason, James, and Carson. All 4 are really good players. And my goals for this season is just to continue the momentum off what we did last season and just keep building that team bonding things by doing things such as going to the movies and going out and doing sleepovers and just trying to have fun overall.
Nice. I know that when we were doing games together, you're always so proud of what you were doing and coaching and the kids that were involved. What are some of the expectations, though, like off the court, at least academically, for these kids?
It's pretty simple. Grades is very important in our program, especially on my team. And it's pretty simple. If you don't get the grades, you can't play. Sad as that sound, but my parents do a real good job enforcing that rule.
Excellent. And for the kids, I know you got to be basketball fans. So for NBA players, kids, like who are your favorite NBA players?
Mine's Kyrie Irving because his handles are insane, and that's just something that I've been working on all my time of working on basketball.
Excellent. And in the back there, favorite player?
Derrick Rose.
Yeah?
He's a really good role model.
Excellent. Okay, so now for the kids, so say you're a #1 recruit out of high school, where would you want to go play your college basketball and why?
I like to play Duke because they have a lot of success there, and it's one of a good college to study for your academics.
Yeah, and who else? Who do we got?
Villanova.
Villanova. That's a good pick right now, of course. You know, why not Wisconsin? Coach Gard's got to build a wall around this state, I think. So that's what coaches have to do. And Coach, you know, back to you. What do you like about coaching this team?
It's a pleasure. I'm enjoying it. I got a good group of guys who handles themselves well on and off the court, so that makes my job a lot easier. And they do what I say for the most part. So I have no complaints right now, and I'm just looking forward to our first tournament, which is coming up next weekend here in Madison.
And guys, what do you like about Coach Boone?
Coach Boone is a really good role model. He's good to look up to because he's had so much success in his past.
Excellent. Excellent job, guys. Good luck on your upcoming season. Continued success. And we'll be right back here on the Sports News on
Everybody shoot the jumpers, shoot the
CW57.
jumpers, shoot the jumper, man.
All right, let's go ringside as in the wake of the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, fight fans are ready for more, and we're going to give it to them as Maurice and the boys from Supreme Hits Boxing and Promotions are joining us now. Maurice, who do we have with us today? You got your crew out, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I have Julio on my right, Julio the Gentleman Garcia, Jeff the Prototype right, and we have Danny the Predator Torres, Deontay Boomaye Wilson, and Dorn the Storm Vu.
I love all the nicknames too, and that's great. And Julio, we'll start with you. It's your first professional fight. That's gotta be huge. What's it been like preparing for your first pro fight?
It's been extremely intense. You know, it's definitely a transition going from amateur to pro. The intensity of the training camp, it's been great. You know, we have to keep it up for the next 3 weeks. We still got a long way to go. So, you know, like I said, it's definitely different. You got to approach this as a different mentality as well. So.
Absolutely. And Danny Torres talking about first professional fights. You're making your pro debut on a big night here in Madison. How you feeling coming into this?
I feel really excited about this opportunity. You know, I'm ready to show my talent and my skills. And I'm really thankful for Supreme Hits Promotion for allowing me to make my pro debut on this big event.
Yeah, absolutely. As we turn our attention now to Jeff. And Jeff, I understand that you just signed on to Supreme Hits Boxing. So how's it been to be part of such a great promotional team?
It's been absolutely wonderful. I was just thankful they'd even set me into to their camp and everything to enhance my skills from what they seen from where I was to where I am now. And the camp that I am I feel like I'm improving so much drastically than from where I was. And I can't wait to even get to this big show that they've been putting on and building up on May 7th.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, it's going to be a great show. As we turn now to Deontay. And Deontay, tell me how you take the experience that you've had. You once worked with Terrence Bud Crawford, and how do you take that experience into your championship fight?
Well, being in camp with Terrence, I learned to really focus on what's going on inside of the ring. You have to remain focused at all times. You have to remain very cognizant and very aware of what's going on throughout every second of every round. So that's one of the things I learned while training with Terrence and sparring with Terrence. So just focus that
I got to ask Dorn before we're out of here. Now, Dorn, I talked to you a little bit earlier on. How intense has your training been for your 12-round title bout?
The intensity has been, we have been amping it up. We've been doing a lot more running, a lot more sparring. But even with this, we still gonna amp it up even more. In other words, I'll be ready for this fight, in shape and everything.
It's going to be a big night, a historic one. Guys, thanks for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, back to the ice we go now as we bring in Ben Cohen from Oregon Ice Arena. And Ben, good to have you back. Let's talk hockey school. Little Buggers, what is that all about?
Thanks, Rich. Nice to see you again. Little Buggers Hockey School. So, like we see in the hockey world that kids, you know, they start skating young, but they don't really start playing hockey until they're, you know, that 5, 6, 7 range. So what we've done is we've created a little program, and it's 3-year-olds to 7-year-olds. They come on the ice, we run them through drills, actually teach them like how to skate hard, how to work. Basically like all the stuff that goes into hockey, like becoming a good hockey player. That's what we teach them. And it's really funny too, because so we just started this program a month ago. We do it every Friday night at the Oregon Ice Arena. The first practice, I had a couple parents talk to me like afterwards, like, oh my God, I've never seen my kids skate that much. Like probably we skated for like 35 straight minutes. I can only imagine that they were sleeping by the time they, you know, got home.
It's kind of like the scene in Miracle, right? It's just again. It's just
yeah, like so for all the hockey people, you'll know these terms, but like I'm having like the little 3 and 4 year olds like do Russian circles, mountain drills, W drills, and it was pretty cute.
You don't have them skating with bags though, do you? That's
no, well, not yet. Well, we're gonna say that's like the next level of the program.
There you go. Tell us a little bit too. The Capital City Cup. What is that all about?
Well, this is kind of, I want to say our monster. So, you know, Honest Promotions, we started, 7, 8 years ago now with one tournament. That's like how our company started. That's how everything got going. That's how Larry and I became partners. And we've been, you know, building all of our programming and, you know, everything over the years. The Capital City Cup is kind of like our biggest kind of tournament event that we've done so far. It's May 6th through 8th here in Madison. We're using Oregon Ice Arena, Sun Prairie Ice Arena, Capitol Ice Arena, Madison Ice Arena, McFarland, Wanakee, Verona. All those ice arenas will have teams, for this tournament. I think we have close to 100 teams that are signed up and registered. Wow. So, like for the Madison area, it's the biggest hockey tournament that Madison has ever seen.
Very nice. Speaking of the ice arena, how's the ice arena doing, and what promotions do you have coming up?
Ice arena's doing good. We just we're in a little slow time these last couple weeks, but now like our Junior Outlaws program will start hitting the ice here on actually tomorrow night. So we're busy there. I've been doing a lot of like cleanup, working on the concession stand, trying to make it just, every day, just trying to make it a little bit better and better and better. Big promotion for us right now is the month of April is kids under 5 skate for free. So that includes rental skates. That's every Saturday from 11 to 1. And to be honest with you, like we're doing it during the month of April, but I'm pretty sure we're going to continue it just because it's such a cool thing to see the little guys out there, and brings their families in, and it's a good thing for everybody.
Absolutely. Love it. Ben, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back. We're going to do some baseball and softball next here on the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, let's go outside now and talk some baseball. So we bring in John Feldner, the McFarland High School varsity baseball coach. And Coach, welcome on in. Let's talk about your team and the conference that you're in. What does that conference look like for this season?
We're part of the Rock Valley Conference. There's 2 divisions in the Rock Valley Conference, the North Division, which we're in, and the South Division. We play each team in the Rock Valley North twice and each team in the South once.
Okay, and so what is the conference outlook? How does your team fit into the whole scope of things?
Well, Jefferson is bringing back, they're the conference champs from last year, along with Edgerton. Edgerton lost a number of players. Jefferson has a number returning. Whitewater has their entire team returning from last year, so they'll be right in the mix, and we hope to be in the mix as well.
Yeah, talk about it being in the mix. Now, what are your goals for this season, Coach?
We want to compete for the championship. We have to get off to a good start and proceed from there.
Yeah, I think one of the things when you start looking at your baseball team, you start scouting, is you find out what you're kind of made of. Talk about your team composition a little bit. What is your team made of?
Even though we lost 7 seniors last year, I have 9 seniors returning this year, and a number of them have varsity experience. So I'm relying on the returning seniors to provide the experience and the leadership. And we have a number of pitchers returning that I believe will keep us competitive in the conference play.
Now, every coach knows too, hey, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. Talk about your strengths for McFarland.
I think defensively we'll be strong. I believe that we'll be able to make plays and make things happen. I think pitching eventually will be a strong part of our game as well. We have to see if we can score enough runs on a regular basis to remain competitive.
Now, how about on the other side of things? You might not want to call it a weakness, but maybe a challenge. What are some of the things that your team needs to improve upon if you want to hit your goals?
Well, the offense will be a key. Consistently scoring runs, making things happen on the bases.
So when you talk about that, how much work goes into something like that? So is it base running drills? Do you spend more time in the cage? How does that go?
Since we haven't been outside a lot, we've been spending a lot of time inside in the cage, getting our swings and working on just offensive plays.
So getting your team together now, once that weather does turn, eventually it's supposed to turn, and this week's actually looking pretty good. What do you guys need to do to challenge for a title?
Consistency. Our pitchers have to throw strikes, allow us to make plays, and then we have to just be really consistent offensively, getting first batters on, having runners move, etc. Things like that.
A lot of that Baseball 101. Hopefully you guys can do that. We'll keep an eye on you all season long. Coach, thanks for joining us here today. Good luck on your season.
Thanks, Rich.
Let's stay on the diamond as we go from baseball to softball. As Jeremy Kruk, the captain of Crushing It Softball, is here right now. And Jeremy, thanks for joining us. Talk about your team a little bit. The team name itself, where did that come from?
I'm Crushing It. It's a Brad Paisley song. So the team travels a lot, plays a lot of country music, blasting at the thing. And when we sat down and named it, it fit with softball. So we went with Crushing It.
You end up talking about how you have to travel a lot. So how many tournaments do you play, and where do you have to travel to?
Our tournament team plays approximately 20 to 25. in a given summer, and we travel anywhere as north as like La Crosse area. We'll go down south to Monticello, Montello. We'll kind of go all over, go all the way to Avoca, and then we've made trips kind of over in the Milwaukee area. So we play all over the place.
Excellent. So now a team like that, of course, always looking for sponsors. Who sponsors you guys, and exactly what does a sponsor do for you guys?
Sure. Crushing has got 3 sponsors. Red Mouse is our primary sponsor. It's a bar and grill out in the west side of Madison. Then we also have a construction company, Crook Brothers Construction and Painting Company sponsors us. And we're also sponsored by Two Gingers Irish Whiskey.
Nice.
Sponsor really, they pay for us to, some of the little things for us like tents and speakers and, things like that. They also pay for our entry into all the tournaments that we play in a given year.
Two Gingers. Okay, I kind of like that name too. So what nights a week does Red Mouse run softball leagues?
The Red Mouse is running a co-ed league Monday nights. They're still looking for some teams. They also run a men's league on Thursday nights and a men's league on Wednesday nights as well.
Okay, so now how many tournaments are you running over there, or is the Red Mouse running, and then when are they?
The Red Mouse runs about 4 tournaments in a given year, and they're from competitive to rec, and they have co-ed as well. I know they run 4, and the first one is starting April 22nd as a men's tournament.
Okay, very good. And so now let's talk about like your team specifically. How long has your team been together, and then how long have you been playing softball personally?
We're a new team. This is technically our first year under Crushing It. We kind of assembled halfway through last year and played in a couple tournaments. And this year we actually officially got together and are running a full season. I've been playing since college, really. I never played baseball in high school or any of that kind of stuff. So I've been playing since about college, so 10 years or so.
Okay, so now how competitive are these games? Because a lot of people think, okay, softball, and it's just a lot of beer drinking. Is there that, or are we going pretty competitive here?
Our team, there's a lot of beer drinking.
Excellent.
It is a very, very competitive, very, very competitive. There is rec teams and there are competitive teams, and there's kind of a mix of everything. So it depends on what level you're at. There's quite a bit to do. So.
Very cool. Jeremy, good luck on a good season for you. And thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more right here in the Sports News on Channel 57 Sports. Thanks a lot for watching this edition of the Sports News here on Channel 57 Sports. And also a special thank you as well to Rick and all the boys over at the Red Zone on Regent Street for help keeping us on the air. We'll see you next time on the Sports News here on Channel 57 Sports.